I'm Dazzling One, and today I'm going to be addressing a topic that was requested, and that is the 11/11 phenomenon. One thing I want to say before I get into today's topic is I know I tend to take a breath in between speaking. That's why when I'm reading, you probably don't hear me breathing as much. Even though I think when I started off, I breathed a lot because I was reading too quickly and I butchered a lot of words. But I have been noticing while I'm speaking sometimes, it's not me breathing, but I've heard this heavy breathing and I'm thinking to myself, what in the world is that? And someone actually asked me about what it was. And I can't say for certain what it is, but I think it's my dog behind me because he's usually there 98% of the time when I'm recording. So maybe it's him snoring, or just sometimes, dogs pant. Sometimes he shakes his collar, and I've had people ask, what's that rattling noise? And I'm like, that's my dog behind me. He's probably wanting me to feed him or take him out to walk. He's my sidekick, so I'm just letting you guys know that in case you hear it while I'm narrating this video. There have been numerous books, documentaries, websites devoted to trying to decode what this phenomenon is. Some believe that it's nothing more than our brains picking up on random data, while others believe it's a coincidence. Some say that it is angels trying to get our attention for an awakening, God, it's Satan, demons, it's some kind of omen, it's linked to mind control and programming. But I was asked what my thoughts on the topic were, and personally I just want to say that I don't have a definitive answer from a personal standpoint, but I'm going to explore all of the different theories that I can find. Just recently, with the blood moon that occurred on April 4th of this year, many were looking at it as interesting because it was said to be a total of 4 minutes and 44 seconds. And when I did the video on Jade Helm and current events going on, people in the comment section mentioned how they see repeating number sequences. I've seen them. In the beginning, I was kind of skeptical. I had a friend who actually texted me and told me, what does 11/11/11 mean? And at the time, I had never heard of such a thing. And she said she heard it was angel numbers. I said, I don't know, and I looked it up, and because it wasn't relevant to me at the time, I kind of dismissed it. Then last year, when I began to have the phenomenon happening to me, the first thing conclusion I jumped to was my brain had been programmed to pick up on this number sequence. Every time I saw it, I just disregarded it as randomness or as a coincidence, which I always say, there's no such thing as a coincidence, and I'm learning that slowly, that there's always a reason behind everything. But starting with a more logical, rational explanation of this phenomenon, some psychologists say it's nothing more than something called apophenia, which is when our brain picks up on random data and that's it. While that might satisfy someone who's looking for a quick, straight to the point answer, for others they believe it means something more and they're a little more passionate about this. Another popular theory is many call these angel numbers because once you start seeing 11/11, you start seeing a lot of different sets like 111, 222, those triples. And it's more of a new age numerology kind of concept, but some say that once you start seeing these, what's happening is your angels or spirit guides are actually trying to get your attention, and they might start by whispering in your ear subtly, and suddenly you look up at a clock, or you check the time on your watch, or you're looking at your phone, or someone hands you a phone, or whatever the case is, and you see this number. And then once you see it, it's your job to decode what it means. 11/11 has been linked to December 21st of 2012. Now it's 2015, so that has passed. So it being a foreshadow or warning of what happened in 2012, I don't think you can necessarily say that today. Most shake their heads and say the world didn't end, we're still alive. Some say that we've had a consciousness shift or an awakening of some sort. The number 11 has, just the single number of 11 has different meanings to different people. Some look at it as a number that is often used by the Illuminati, 11, 22, 33. I've heard theories before, and I can't back this up, that it's also part of our DNA sequence as far as 11, 22, 33. We know 33 is considered the highest degree that a Mason can become. It's also associated with the age of Aquarius or the 5th age, and this gets into the V symbolism as well. The age of Aquarius for some is a good thing. It means that everybody is there's going to be a utopia of some sort. While others look at it as the time when the Antichrist will rise and we'll have what some think of as a global government or new world order. Some linked 11/11/11 to the date November 11th of 2011. There were many gatherings, and some even predicted a doomsday event, and nothing, as far as I know, happened that day either. But there were some events in history that did occur on November 11th, which November is the 11th month of the year. The Mayflower Compact was signed on November 11th, 1620. There was World War I. It was ended at the 11th hour of the 11th day on the 11th month, which doesn't seem coincidental. There was the Berlin Wall. It was dismantled starting on 11/11 of 1989. Yasser Arafat died on 11/11 of 2004. What is interesting about the 11/11 phenomenon, especially before 2011, November 11th of 2011, many had a fascination and still do with Atlantis and Lemuria. And if you know anything about Atlantis and Lemuria, then you'll know that it is linked to the pre-flood world as far as angels coexisting with man and teaching their sacred knowledge to them. So some link the 11/11/11 phenomenon to fallen angels and demons deceiving people by making them believe that it's some sort of awakening. Others see it as ominous, linking it to September 11th. Some say that with September 11th that there's 111 days left in the year, but the only thing about that is, if you're dealing with a leap year, that it's true, but if you're dealing with a regular year, non-leap year, then you only have 110 days left. Going back to the New Age point of view, some people make wishes when they see 11/11 on a clock, and some believe it's linked to light workers, which is the belief that there are some people who volunteered before they were born to heal the earth. So some see 11/11 as a wake-up call for those who are going to do light work. So, throwing you guys my personal opinion on this whole phenomenon. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I don't have a definitive answer. If someone asks me, what do you think 11/11 means? I would say I would proceed with caution, because there's just so much left up to suggestion when it comes to it, and I've had my own personal experiences since. I don't just see 11/11, I see, the triple sets as well. I'm just sharing a few really bizarre stories about these numbers. So, like I said, at first I was a skeptic about the whole thing, but my grandmother passed away last year on January 11th of 2014, so I saw 3 ones there. And another strange event that happened recently to me was when I did my video, my testimony. If you go look at it, it is a total of 33 minutes and 33 seconds, which just doesn't happen. Whenever I edited it, it was only 33 minutes and 32 seconds, but somehow when I uploaded it on here, it was 33 minutes and 33 seconds. Another strange thing that happened to me was whenever I was hit by the car a couple months ago, when I made it back to my destination, because I was walking on foot, and I got there, I looked down at my phone and it said 3:33. So for me, my experiences with it have been both positive and negative, and I can't say for certain. I do think there could be a deception within this phenomenon, because some use it to trust angels, and knowing about fallen angels, many think angels, when they hear angels, that it just means good guardian angels, but there are evil angels as well. In Psalm 78:49 it says, He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation, and trouble by sending evil angels among them. So right there, you see there are still angels that are evil. Many associate demons with fallen angels, but I believe that fallen angels are still angels. That's why they can masquerade as beautiful angels of light. And demons are something entirely different. Whenever I was doing research on this, I found that some said that it wasn't just angels that were guiding people, but it was half angel, half human beings, which sounds just like a Nephilim to me. Whenever I hear the words spirit guide, that was also a red flag to me as well. I know 33, the number that I see a lot of, some associate it with your ascended masters are trying to get your attention. One of the most chilling theories whenever I observed the 1111 phenomenon was that it could be a means of mind control. And most probably wouldn't think this to be true, but I came across a website, and I don't know how much truth is in it, but for those of you who want to explore the mind control aspects, because this is the one I know least about, I'll definitely leave a link to it in the description box. In it, it begins with an article, a screenshot of it, from August 13th of 2008, where scientists were to study synthetic telepathy. And it says a team of UC Irvine scientists has been awarded $4 million grant from the U.S. Army Research Office to study the neuroscientific and signal processing foundation of synthetic telepathy. They highlighted a section from it that says the brain-computer interface would use a non-invasive brain image technology like electroencephalography to let people communicate thoughts to each other. They point to 1988, where an inmate in Utah prison named James Fradis wrote a letter describing how he had been tortured through the use of some kind of synthetic telepathy technology that followed his jailers to play back his thoughts over a loudspeaker in real time. The ideal of this technology is not only can it read your thoughts, but it can induce dreams, ideas, memories. It's a form of programming, and the individual is completely unaware. Some assert that our technology that we're using today, like smartphones, Wi-Fi, kind of going back to the electromagnetism and electromagnetic radiation, has an effect on our brainwave. I'll take this theory as far that it can not only induce dreams and ideals, but even what some may describe as the 1111 phenomenon is nothing more than this technology being used on the general population, and that it can also create symptoms of mental illness. This also goes along the theory with technology that can make someone believe that they may have been abducted by aliens when they're not. But it's just an interesting theory to explore. A whole entire video could be done on technology that is used to implant thoughts and memories. I've discussed false memories. I haven't discussed alien abductions in completion yet, but I'll get to that subject in the near future. But I just thought that the mind control angle was an interesting one. Someone brought it up to me when they asked if I could do this video, and I thought I'd explore it. I couldn't find a whole lot on that topic because most of the 1111 knowledge I came across was mostly people who were encouraging it as an awakening or angel numbers, but it's just food for the thought. Don't know for sure, but I would pray about it if you're experiencing these number sequences. I'm not going to say that you're being demonically attacked or it's God speaking to you, because if I said either one, I wouldn't be 100% sure on it. But if you've had experiences with these numbers in the past and you felt that it's God speaking to you, or you felt Satan speaking to you, please comment and maybe start a discussion about this, because it does fascinate me. I don't really give it much credence as far as saying, oh, God is getting my attention. But I know some people that do, and I'm not knocking them for that either. I just like to use caution with everything. When it comes to numerology and astrology and things like that, I try not to get too deep into it because I know there can be certain pitfalls within it. I do think that this knowledge, if it wasn't corrupted by some, it would be okay, but I'm just letting you know about that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this explanation. I know I was kind of all over the place, and because I don't have a particular stance on it, I'm more undecided. I didn't really have a lot to offer as far as my own personal input, but like I said, you guys can definitely comment, talk about it with one another. And it's funny because even today when I was going to do this video, I went to the gym this morning, and when I was working out, I saw the 1111 sequence, I saw the 333 sequence, I saw 555 before I left the house, and I saw 44.4 calories burned. It was just funny how these numbers come up. But I hope you guys all have a wonderful week. I'll talk to you next week. Take care, and Yahweh bless you.